I'm honored and delighted to welcome Michael Douglas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Shailendra Singh for this media interaction today. As we are all aware, at the closing ceremony of the 54th IFFI tomorrow, Hollywood actor and producer Michael Douglas will be bestowed with the prestigious Satyajit Ray Lifetime Achievement Award. With 50 years,
Come on.
With 50 years of film, television, and film producing experience, Michael Douglas is known for his era-defining roles with enduring cultural impact and also for his public service record. He has remained a public servant and activist dedicated to peace and human welfare. He is a winner of two He's a winner of 2 Academy Awards, 5 Golden Globe Awards, and Emmy, and recently he has been awarded the Golden Palm at the 76th Cannes Film Festival. We are also joined by Catherine Zeta-Jones, who is an award-winning actor for not only in films but theatre, and has been appointed a Commander of the Order of the British Empire for her work in theatre, films, and humanitarian work with children. And of course, we are also joined by our friend Shailendra Singh, whom we've met earlier. Shailendra is a multifaceted personality who has produced and released about 68 feature films and won 16 national awards. He has left his mark in various fields like advertising, talent management, literature, entertainment, and corporate social responsibility. I now request Michael to say a few words about his visit at the IFFI and how he is ready to accept the Lifetime Satyajit Ray Achievement Award. And later, if Catherine would like to say something, and then we'll throw the floor open to questions.
Thank you, Mandeepa.
Thank you so much.
That's a good start. Thank you all for being here. It's really, really an honor for Catherine and I and our son Dylan, who's in the first row here.
Good.
Our family loves India. This is our 4th visit. The first 3 times we're to the north. And now we have the pleasure and the joy and the honor of being here in Goa in the south. I am very grateful to IFFI. You pronounce it IFFI.
IFFI.
Is the best way to pronounce IFFI, to get this wonderful honor. I actually had a history of Satyajit Ray back in college in the 1960s and taking a film class, and became aware of some of his work and projects. As also well as his style, and being a Renaissance man, I think he sort of created not the beginning of the Indian filmmaking, but the idea of multiple jobs. He did so many things as an author, in music, in editing, as well as a director. So it's a tremendous honor to receive this award and to see the other people that have received it before. So Mr. Kapar, the head of the IFFI, I want to thank you very, very much for putting on a fabulous festival. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
For putting on such a wonderful festival, the 54th year. It's not easy to do that for this, and it's really, really a joy for us. So we're looking forward to having a wonderful time while we're here in Goa and looking around some other areas in the south of India. Thank you all for coming. It's really, really an honor, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yay.
I almost forgot also my dear friend Shailendra Singh,
No.
who's having his 25th anniversary, so he tells me, in the industry. So we're celebrating that, and as you can see, he took very good care of me already. And I have an appropriate jacket from Rajasthan that I'm very happy with. Thank you.
And he looks wonderful in it.
Yay.
Hello there. Thank you so much for coming out today. I'm so honored to be next to my husband, and as he receives this prestigious award. Like Michael said, India is very dear into our hearts, all our family. We've been here a few times and we've just been welcomed with such open arms. Actually, a story that I've never told before. India has touched me in a very serious personal way, in that it was an Indian doctor who saved my life with a tracheotomy when I was 18 months old. So I wonder why when I come to India, I have this feeling of coming home and this like my this tingly feeling, and maybe there's something to do with that. The reason why I'm actually here is because of the brilliance of an Indian doctor in Swansea, South Wales, in the UK. So I'm forever indebted to him. Again, thank you again for having us all, and I'm just looking forward to tomorrow night when we can all be seated as a family, very proud as Michael receives this amazing honor.
Whoa. Super excited. Are we open to the house, or
Would you like to say?
why not? Might as well.
Sure. Sure.
Like I said outside, my 25 years in cinema, of course, I'm super excited. I just love cinema. I think life is incomplete without being part of cinema. Whether you watch it, whether you make it, doesn't matter. You get to escape your real life for 3 hours. And those 3 hours, sometimes people take 5 years, 10 years, 3 years to make it. Thousands of people come together to give you that joy for those 3 hours. So cinema is very special. 25 years celebration. It was a massive excuse to bring them here, to be honest. Because, I mean, this is cinema. This is cinema. This also tells you that it's one world. You know what I mean? A small guy from Mumbai, Worli, and look who I got a moment to share the dais with, right? So anything is possible. Keep dreaming, keep doing, keep making cinema. This can happen. and just want to say one thing, that it's unbelievable, the warmth and friendship that Michael, Catherine, Dylan, the whole family brings to us. Our hearts just get expanded whenever you're here, and keep coming. Just love it.
Thank you. So we'll throw the floor open for questions. Please introduce yourself before you ask. Yeah, Shama.
I'm Shama from Doordarshan News. I'd like to understand, are we going to do any projects here in India
Straight up.
with Shailen?
Slowly.
We, well, the first time I came here years ago was the idea of making sort of a sequel to Romancing the Stone, a movie made many years ago. It was titled Racing the Monsoon. And we worked on it. And, you know, the most important part of these is the script, is the material. That's your architectural foundation. That's what everything is based upon. The truth is there's maybe 10 actors that can play the part, but nobody can repeat the structure. And we never kind of got it quite right. And also our film back then required the use of trains, a lot of trains. And of course, the best time for trains in India is not the monsoon season, which is also the time when tourism is the busiest. So it was difficult that time, but the script wasn't right. So anyway, Shailendra put his head to it, and we're working as an outline on a script that we're all interested in. And we're going to hopefully go to the next draft of the script.
Hello, I'm Jaya from DD News Delhi. Michael, you spoke about your association or your remembrance of Satyajit Ray when you were in college. So a little bit more about Satyajit Ray, because he had a great impact on many filmmakers around the world. And also IFFI today stands amongst the most prestigious film festivals around the world. So coming here, being part of IFFI, how it really feels.
When I was in the University of California in Santa Barbara, I was taking a film course. This is starting in 1963. This is about 1964. And one of the directors that we studied a lot of was Satyajit Ray. And if I remember correctly, there was a film called Panther Pachali. Was the first film. Huh?
Well said.
Pronunciation. And then Chaluta, I believe was it. Chalut.
Charuta.
Chalutata. Chalutata.
Lonely
Lonely Way. And I remember, obviously thinking about this award and coming here, the impression, because more the pictures were very interesting, but when I realized that he was not only the director, but he was a writer, that he was a film editor, that he was a musician, that he authored books, he was quite an extraordinary man. And then also the sense of dealing with people, he would not think of being heroic or large scale, but showing a reality and a texture that we had known about, all left me with an impression. And you can see by the people that have been fortunate enough to win this award in the past, and a very impressive group. So I thought it was very well named. And I'm not sure if that was the responsibility of the Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Anurag Singh. And he was part of that decision to name this award of that, but he's done an excellent job, it seems, in the last few years as this has grown to such a large extent.
Hi, this is Sohail here from Ancient Bollywood. A big congratulations to you all, everyone on the dial, especially and welcome to India. You've been here in India before also, as you said, for 4 times you've been. Have you ever been approached for a Bollywood film before? And in case
he already did one.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Or maybe in case if you must have done, could you just say something on it? And Shailendra ji, आपके लिए भी question है second के any chances, because आपने भी बहुत सारी फिल्में बनाई हैं, तो any chances आपका association with Michael?
I'll let him answer the first.
I think that's really a question for my wife.
Yeah, let's go
both
ahead,
both
let's
of
go
you.
ahead.
Because I can't dance.
He's disqualified.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, would you like to say something? Yeah.
Well, I've always been a huge fan of Bollywood. And being a singer and a dancer, I dreamed that maybe the British film industry would do a Bollywood type film and I would be able to be cast in it. But I wasn't. But I would. I love it. When my kids were very small, my son will tell you that we showed him Om Shanti Om, which was one of my favorite movies. And Dylan had to, when his kids' friends came over, he's like, "Do you want to see a movie from India? It's my mom's favorite movie, and we love it." And how many times did you watch Om Shanti Om?
I've seen it a few times, and it's a long movie, huh?
And so we used to put it on the big screen. But I would love to be part of something in the industry. In fact, one of my favorite movies, which is not Bollywood, is called The Lunchbox, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I came upon it on a long international flight. They had the international section, and I watched it twice, back to back. Then I bought the film, and then I was able to meet Mr. Batra directed it. I called my agent and said, "I just saw this wonderful movie. It touched me so much." And then I happened to be in London, and he was there, so I got to meet him. I'm still waiting for him to write me another Lunchbox too, but I'll wait. It's fine. But I'm a big fan of that movie. Touched me in a sense of being such a quintessential Indian movie. It just touched me as a European woman so much.
Michael, if it's offered with your wife, so would you be accepting it? If it's along with her?
I'd be happy to watch. She got a start here. When our last visits here a couple of years ago, Shailendra hosted us in Mumbai, and we had a party. And I think he was up to no good, and he brought a number of Bollywood dancers, professional dancers. And I don't know if any of you had a chance to see this, but Catherine was feeling good and got up there and led the whole group, and they were fantastic. She got all the moves down, and they're copying the moves, and it was I thought I was watching a real scene from a movie.
Well, I've watched enough Bollywood movies to kind of get that was one of that was a very
It was the most magical moment of that night. First, just to let you know, because we're discussing this now, I got really the most professional dancers from our industry to impress them. Okay, that was the plan, and they were really good. They're top. I won't name them here, but they were like the top. Okay, they come out, they dance, everything happens. Now I to put her on the spot, I say, come, why don't you shake her leg? She says, no, really? I said, yeah, please do that. And she gets up, and guess what now? So the dancers are behind her. She's in the front. So she's not watching the dancers, right? She murdered it. She killed it. I'm telling you, the dancers said, what is this? It looked like she had rehearsed better than the dancers.
Dances were so good that every move I did, they mimicked me, copied me, so it looked like we'd been like behind the scene. Michael's like, did you go rehearsing that? I went, no. We just got up. It was one of those memorable nights, and the band, we had live music, and it was just.
And the best moment was what, when you were doing that, first time he, being so gentle and lazy, he took his phone out and he did a video. He shot you. I was saying, wow.
Yeah, we love it.
Open to Michael, this question comes to you. I'm Frankie Gracious from Gomantak Times. I just heard you saying on the red carpet that you are going to make some project in Goa. I don't know whether I heard wrong.
I think you heard wrong, although it's a very good idea. I'd love to.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
have any suggestions? I'm open.
Okay, I have a second question. I've seen Basic Instinct and I have seen Fatal Attraction. So between these two movies, which do you feel you worked more hard on, and which is better than, the Fatal Attraction or Basic Instinct?
Could I ask you if you ever saw any other movies that I did, or is are the only two movies that you know? Okay. I think they were different purposes. I like this. The story of Fatal Attraction was a great, very simple concept. What if, and the worst nightmare. So
And Catherine,
Sir,
what do you like?
I agree. It's the one. It was one of the still one of the most scariest thrillers with the ever.
So-
it just even today.
Yeah, you want to ask something?
my name is Nikhil I'm from Pune, Print. When you are producing a film, what is your philosophy? Like when you produced Cuckoo's Nest also, and Romancing the Stone also. So when you choose a project to produce, what is your idea?
that's a good question. Thank you. I was fortunate at the very beginning of my career. Actually, the last two summers at the university, and the first year out, 3 years, I worked at a summer theater, and there was a program called the National Playwrights Conference, and in this conference they selected new plays, and I was part of a ensemble acting company who would act in these new plays, and I learned very quickly that the whole focus was on the material, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of the skeleton. And the material is the most important thing. Many actors can play the parts, but it's how good the material is. So I think that always stuck with me. And as we were rehearsing on those summer plays and always working on how to improve the play, we weren't thinking about the actor's performance, but the play. It was very important to me. Then the first job I really had in the business was a television series called The Streets of San Francisco, which I don't know if it was in India or not, but it was around the world. It's a very, very popular show. And I did 104 hours, 4 years of that show. Again, focus on a prologue, 3 acts, and an epilogue. And again, much more involved in the structure. So very early in my career, and then with the success of Cuckoo's Nest, which was my first picture, material for me became the most important. I don't care what it is, but if it's something that that emotionally moves me and is structurally, and structure for me, a 3-act structure is very important, and then that's what I count on. So if I'm haunted by it, whether it makes me laugh or cry or sexy or not, but if I'm haunted by it, and then I analyze it and I see the structure. And so I think that's why I've been fairly successful over the years trying to stick with good material. Yeah. So I didn't worry about my part so much because I'd much rather have a small part in a good movie than a big part in a bad movie.
Hello, sir. Hi, this is Harshida here from Screen Graphia. So I just want to know, you and ma'am had been to various film festivals across the world. So what's your observation about the Indian cinema as such?
The future or the
No, observation. Like, what do you see like around the festival? What is that people talk about the Hindi film industry or maybe the pan India cinema?
Well, as I mentioned, I do think that under Minister Thakur, as well as Prime Minister Modi, the last few years you've seen more money put into the production and financing of films. It's been a very successful time. I also think there's more and more, and I think sort of the spirit of this festival and the beauty of this festival is you had 78 foreign countries represented, and it's only a reflection of the strength of your Indian filming, which is renowned and known around the world. It's I think you're in very, very good hands. I think it's beginning to, even with all of the success here in India, it's traveling more and more, and streaming is playing a very important part. I think for all of us, as we're seeing movies from different countries, and for me, this is the magic and the beauty and the joy of why I love this business so much, is the international connections. I mean, with all the different languages we speak, movies share the same language. You know, audiences from wherever you are in the world can understand what's going on. Movies bring us closer together, and I think that's a very important aspect of it.
Sir, here I am.
Sorry.
I am Shiladitya Sen from Calcutta. You have the experience of your first popular film made by Robert Zemeckis. You are, sir, actor, director, producer. So, how you consider as a director Robert Zemeckis? Because he is a very good director. I just want to know about your experience or how do you like?
Well, Robert Zemeckis, when we were trying to get the director for Romancing the Stone, and Robert Zemeckis was 28 years old, and he had been supported by Steven Spielberg because they both went to USC
Absolutely.
Film School. And Robert Zemeckis had made two movies, Used Cars and I Want to Hold Your Hand, both which had been flops. And they'd been produced by Steven Spielberg. So Robert Zemeckis, when I met him at 27 years old, was history. His career was over. He was a good writer and this and that. But I knew he had, just from seeing those movies, he had a great tone and good filmmaking. So it was a wonderful opportunity, and he was excited. And that was the movie, Romancing the Stone, that started Robert Zemeckis off on his successful career. And he's a lovely man and a good friend.
And one question to Madam. Can you tell about Steven Spielberg? Because you acted in a very interesting role in Terminal.
Yeah, it was Stephen. Yeah, I was. Well, actually, there's a story that precedes that. In that, when I first went to America to give it a go in American movies, I was cast in a television series about the Titanic, the ship, not the movie with Leo or Kate, the TV series. You know, even though we got some great actors, George C. Scott and Ava Marie Saint, and it was great actor. It was a television for CBS, two nights. And so I thought, well, I got to start somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And one Sunday night, Steven Spielberg was at home watching TV. He was watching me in Titanic, and he called on Monday morning my agent and said I want her to audition for Zorro. And so he said, yeah. So I went to meet him on the set of Jurassic Park 2, that would have been enough for me. You know, I would have just gone home. So I met him, which was amazing. And then he sent me down for a screen test with some other actresses, introduced me to the director. I got the role, which my husband saw.
Hi, boy.
And then asked to meet me. Here we are with our son, and all that story. But to be directed by Steven, of course, was very, very exciting. It was one of my dreams, and to be working with Tom Hanks. And again, you know, it's like, for me, it's like actors. Sometimes the better they are, the easier they are. And he works with the same cinematographer, and so a lot of the people are all the same. So the environment is very family-like, and it was a wonderful experience. One would think that you step on a film set with Steven Spielberg, you'd be like this, and he created an environment in which it was very, very, very nice to and easy to work with. But
Mr. Michael, just a couple of questions here behind. My name is Sachin. First question would be reflecting back on your long and successful career as an actor, as a film producer. How easy or how difficult was it to step out of the shadows of your father, Mr. Kirk Douglas, who was a legend in his own right? So how easy and difficult it was for you to step out of his shadow? And the second question would be, right from Gordon Gekko, for which you won an Oscar in Wall Street, to the modern day generation who knows you as Dr. Hank Pym in the Marvel movies, which are your most favorite or challenging characters that you played? Favorite or challenging?
Stepping out of my father's shadow took a long time, at least for me personally. And it really, it was sort of interesting. We sort of had similar careers in that his beginning of his career, he was playing the sensitive young man. And it didn't really work until maybe his sixth or seventh movie was a movie called Champion in 1950, which he was nominated for an Academy Award. He played a nasty fighter. And then that dark side, that nasty side of him sort of changed his whole direction and perspective of working. And similarly for me, in an earlier part of my career, I was playing more softer kind of roles. But you always have the situation where you're acting and someone's, oh, it's just like your father. Oh, that's very, well, he's 50% of who I am, so I'm sure I have expression. Oh, that's just like him. So there was always that element and quality. And I must say that when I won the Oscar for Wall Street, I was very excited. But that was the moment when I felt like the Oscar, you were nominated for an Oscar by your acting peers in the Academy. So when I got the nomination from my fellow actors, like, whoa, it had nothing to do with my father. It was a nomination for me. That was a tremendous, tremendous moment. And the fact that I won, like I couldn't believe. And my son Dylan is a young actor, our daughter Carison. So I've shared with them, the pressures of what it's like to have your father famous and dealing with that. And Dylan rightfully reminds me, it's not like that anymore, Dad. I said, why? Wait, what's different? Social media. I said, you didn't have social media over your back. And I said, you know what? You're right. It's a big difference. So that was the pie. I must say that my father's always very supportive to me, and I think enjoyed the fact. I mean, people used to ask my father, are you jealous of your son? Are you jealous of his success? And he would look at them, what are you talking about? This is it's a continuity of generations. It's a sense of immortality that you can see going from one generation to the other. So that made a big difference.
Hello, Mr. Douglas. This is
my second question. The second part. The second part of the question, I think, was the difference between the pictures. The ones that I like, is a movie called Falling Down. I don't know if you ever seen Falling Down. I like that. I like that picture a lot. There's a picture I did called Wonder Boys that a lot of people saw, which I think you'll enjoy. But I guess I'm generally happy following the scenario which I said about material, that I've had a number of successful movies, not home runs. What's the equivalent in cricket of a home run?
Yeah, like six.
Out
of the stadium, yeah.
Maybe some 4s, 2s, but a pretty good average as a batter, pretty good average, and so I think that's probably what I'm most proud about.
Super.
No, I met Catherine. No, I met Catherine at the Deauville Film Festival. I had just seen Zorro. Easy. I just had seen Zorro actually in the States. I said, is that? Wow. And then I went over to this festival in Deauville. I was promoting a Perfect Murder. It's a movie called A Perfect Murder with Viggo Mortensen, and I looked at the schedule and I saw that the next night Catherine was going to be there for Zorro. Yeah, you'd be there for Zorro, but she was in the middle of making Entrapment and was going to be there for Zorro. And I said, well, find out if I can meet her, maybe have a drink and say hello. The rest is history.
Sir, this is Swati Bhatt from the Communic News. Okay. My question is that you have received many prestigious awards, and now you are receiving Satyajit Ray Award, Lifetime Achievement Award. So I'm more curious. It's more than a question. It's like I would like to know that when you came to know about this, that you are going to receive this, how did you break the news to your close circle, to your family, and what were the reactions?
Well, I mean, they're happy for me. They're very happy, and I just think it comes upon you one day. All of a sudden, it's a career life achievement, and you kind of blink. Then you think, well, you have been doing this for 55 years, so it's time. But for me, it's the joy of an American actor being here in India and having the familiarity of people. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Please.
Okay, and just make so that's that. They obviously were very, very proud. So are my friends, but I take particularly an enjoyment out of visiting, being in other countries, acknowledging that our films travel from so many countries.
Sir,
Hi, sir.
Sir,
I'm
this-
hi, sir.
Can we?
Sir, this is Dolce de Cruz. I'm from Herald. I have two questions, one for you and one for Catherine, ma'am. So for you, you're the first actor from the Marvel universe who's come to Goa. How does it, feel when you see Endgame and you see a younger version of yourself in the film? And Catherine, ma'am, you have given two wonderful, a series and two series actually, Morticia in Wednesday. So how do you select your scripts with your children now? How does it go?
Well, the aging thing kind of goes along with the question of AI, because it's coming very fast. I mean, at that time, it's very weird. They put dots all over you, right? And if you look at yourself in the mirror, it's not a pretty picture. But you act and then they do it, and it's a little scary, I must say. But that was so quickly followed by what's going on with AI now, and so we're actually fighting on a much different record, and all of a sudden you have to really protect your name and likeness into perpetuity. So we'll see. But the reason I did those films was I had never done a CGI movie before, and I wanted to see the experience, because acting in CGI is very bizarre. There's nothing there, and you kind of just have to pretend. And it was a lovely experience, but once is enough.
This is the last
Oh,
question.
shall I
Yeah.
answer?
Please,
yeah.
Catherine, carry on.
Yeah, well, when I had the call that Tim Burton, who I admired as a filmmaker forever, wanted to speak to me about a project, I answered the call and I said, "Hi, Tim. What do you want me to do, and when do I start?" I didn't, apropos to what Michael was saying about the scripts. For me at that moment was like, whatever he's doing, I know I want to be part of. And it happened to be one of the most iconic kind of pop icon characters, Morticia Adams, in a show that was like, so part of our subconscious for many years, but focusing on Wednesday. And so that experience was amazing, and the success has been incredible. So we, in anticipate, we've just finished our actors' strike, which we are very happy about, for not just us, but for everybody who works in our industry, in our industry in the States. So it's delayed. We're going to be starting in the spring now, and I'm so excited about getting back into that world, because his world is such an amazing world that he creates.
Yeah.
Yours will be the last
yeah.
question. Yeah. please.
Hi, sir. My name is Pandurang. I have a question for Michael, sir. Michael, sir, last few years, Indian film are growing day by day. Now, few days back, one of the Indian film named RRR, who is directed by S.S. Rajamouli, got his Oscar for his original music. How you look at this?
It's spectacular. It was spectacular. I mean, bravo! You know, won the Oscar for the music, but it was stunning, beautifully done, and deserves everything it gets. And I think it's wonderful for the film industry here to get the confidence. It was a big budget movie for any movie, for Indian movie, and I think it gives you more confidence to try bigger films. But since we're just leaving right now, or since you're closing up, let me just thank the IFFI so much. And Mr. Kamoor, thank you so much for all the good work that you've been doing on this festival. Congratulations! It's a great job, and thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you.
I request everyone to remain seated. So thank you very much. We wouldn't have wanted this afternoon to end. We could have chatted with you for an hour more, but you have other commitments. So I thank all my friends in the media, and I thank Michael Douglas, Catherine,
And thank
and
you.
Shailen. Thank
Thank you.
And we thank you.